I want to address something that I was wrong about, and it's not a huge deal. We're all on our growth journey, but it's something that I felt was really important because coming out of a break from YouTube, I'm getting back into posting, and I haven't really shared a lot of training videos as of late. And when I started this YouTube channel, it was heavily that, and it was heavily at the very beginning, you won't find these videos, but at the very beginning, it was just me and Theodore. And then I shared my gentling with the Mustangs, and have been just like branching out all the things and trying to find myself along the way, and I mean that by like, what am I interested in? Because I feel like I used to be such an in-the-box thinker. As of late, I have been branching out, and sometimes you have to explore different things to find where you fit, what you like, and all of that. And so I've taken time to do that, and I've been on this crazy journey. But anyway, I'm saying this because I recently filmed a training session, and I feel like, how do I even get started in talking about what I'm doing? Because I feel like there's a gap between where I was and where I am now. And honestly, whenever someone tells me that they love my videos, I'm like, oh God, I cringe so bad. I'm like, oh gosh, like this is, what videos are they talking about? Because I feel like people, when you're on social media, and this is like, I'm not complaining here, this is just part of the social media world. Like when you're on social media, you put something out there and people can't remember you for that. And it goes on. So people are often judging you on your past. And I'm saying judge, people telling me they like my videos isn't coming from like a negative judgment, but their impression of me is based off of the past. And so that's just something, why is this beeping? Stop it. That's just something that you have to like learn to, I think we're good. That's just something that you kind of have to like, figure out as a content creator. Like that is part of a content creator's growth. You have to learn how to, there's a whole nother layer of growth that happens behind the scenes that you guys don't see. In retrospect, I'm really happy with, I feel like I did really well with the knowledge that I had. And not only that, I acknowledged that I'm just a project equestrian. That was the whole thing. Like, I'm a project equestrian. I'm working on myself. I'm going to be changing, and I have changed. I've indeed have changed. So coming back, when I filmed this training session, I feel like there was just such a gap between like my last training video and then where I am now. And it's really hard to dive into that conversation without kind of explaining a little bit. The thing that I see wrong in a lot of my videos, even as I was undergoing, if you don't know, I started my journey using negative reinforcement, which is your typical pressure and released. And I feel like even back then, I strived to keep things low intensity. Although in back, I think we all have different ideas of what that means. So looking back, I'm like, oh dear. But I don't think it was like crazy high. I think that's a kind of a normal thing. And I started incorporating positive reinforcement, and I still do both today. So when I started getting into positive reinforcement, a big glaring thing that I went wrong in was training for the behavior versus the emotion, versus like the emotional regulation. So with positive reinforcement, you can get an animal to do something that they are terrified to do. Not everything, but like a lot of horses will still perform a behavior in fear. And I did that, totally. And, yeah, so it's like, as I'm transforming now, it's like, that's a huge priority. It's like that emotional regulation has to come first. Now there's this like, awkward transition of like, whoa, it feels like we just took a big step back, and it's starting over, kind of. Not really, but then it's also so much more powerful, and it's so much more special, and it really actually feels real and genuine that your horse feels safe around you. All right, it's just editing me hopping on to say I didn't explain that terribly well, but there is like more on my mind that I'm planning on talking about. But all that to say is all these changes, it can feel like a big step back when you start making them. It's just like, wow. So all that to say, I just think it's really, people don't talk about how awkward a transition can be when you're having these shifts in your values and shifts in your philosophies. And I've told people, like, I feel like I'm a caterpillar, and you're in that cocoon. Like, I feel like there's, like, it's ugly. It's an ugly state, and it feels sometimes disorienting. It feels like, well, I know how to do all these things, but I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm choosing to do something different. It's kind of like an awkward, like, in between, like, oh, where am I on this? I have been through an ugly phase as I'm kind of reorienting myself, rewiring my thoughts. I'm not really proud of my past videos, to be honest. I keep them there. It is important for me to share my journey. I'm trying to show the development process. For me, it's more about being real. Like I said earlier, I did my best with the knowledge that I had, and I was intentionally seeking out more knowledge. I was intentionally trying to be better. And, like, that's the whole premise of my channel, the Project to Question, where I'm changing and growing. So this wasn't necessarily a video that I had to make, but I did want to, especially for the viewers who have been watching a while, I wanted to, now that I've changed perspectives, talk about an area that I feel I was wrong in. And also because there was this gap between how I used to train and how I'm training now, and it is an awkward conversation, or it's just hard to know how to get started again. So this is helpful for me moving forward. And I understand that, you know, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and some people may not be excited about the direction that I'm heading, and that's okay. And it's okay to unsubscribe too. Like, there's a lot of perspectives out there, that's for sure. But lastly, I have no idea what I did to my face. I did it at work, I know that. No idea how I did it, but it looks worse than it is. When I was getting my camera ready, I saw in the camera, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that escalated quickly.
Oh my goodness. Sparrow, aren't you beautiful? Hi, honey. You want to help with your sister? Yeah.